Not coming in full screen today, fellas. I'm coming in cropped.
No, I said you didn't see any iguanas out there in Florida?
Oh, do we see? Oh, we saw a lot of critters out there, man. Florida's a great time, man. Gonna be heading back in a few weeks.
Nice.
I guess I'm not a stepfather yet, but whatever those duties are, I've got because Chica's daughter is now moving from Miami to Fort Lauderdale, and I have to do the move for her in a few weeks. But
I'm gonna have to
there's something I'm going to add. There's something I'm going to add to all that as what I'm going to do the next time I'm there in a few weeks.
Yeah. What's up, Seth? What's up, Sam? Good morning, boys. We're back. Hey, I'm gonna have to go ahead and do a move myself for my daughter, and I got big news when it comes to my daughter.
Nice.
Big news. Big news. Big news.
Want to get into all of that? I have some big news to share too, but I'll let you share your big news first.
Yeah. We got Pete Aguilar. What's up? Matt Gomez. Jonathan Perez in the house. What's up, fellas? Thank you all for joining. And Matt Gomez again, man. Thank you all for having us out there at the tailgate, SAFC.
Yeah.
Me and LG enjoyed ourselves, man. It was a good night, even though, the weather didn't cooperate. It was still a hell of a night. It was a nice night.
Nice.
Little rain,
hey,
don't
man,
hurt nobody.
I hope the audio sounds okay. Like I said, the technical difficulties got us this morning.
Yeah, no, you sound fine, dude. I've dealt with much worse, Mike.
Yeah.
This will work, bro. This will work.
I'll just speak louder. How about that?
Yeah. We got Fernandez in the house, too. What's up? Albert Lopez. Thanks for joining us, sir.
Area 210, where the dreams don't fade. From the river walk nights to the Alamo shade. We rise together through the highs and the lows. Area 210, it's the life that we chose.
What's up, San Antonio? What's going on, South Texas? This is the Area 210 podcast. My name is Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. We apologize for the technical difficulties. We had some earlier today. The gremlins appeared on our feed here.
Yeah.
I could hear you. You couldn't hear me. You could hear me. I couldn't hear you. We had to go back and forth. So we're just doing this by my cell phone today. So I hope I sound okay. Big show today. First of all, the Spurs signed Deaaron Fox to a 4-year extension. Going to be the highest paid Spur of all time. Want to get reaction to all that. What do people think when it comes to it? We have a poll at MJ Acquired Taste on Twitter where you can vote on that. Joe, overwhelmingly, it appears as though Spurs fans approve of this all. Julian Champagny, dude's going to get paid again, right? Are we happy with Julian Champagny? Is that what we need to have here? Or is he just going to be kind of the 13th man on the team? We'll talk about that. Who's the odd man out for the Spurs? And we're talking about the big name players from years past. Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan. Who is the odd man out this year? Because the Spurs got Luke Cornett, got Kelly Olynyk, drafted Dylan Harper. There's only so many minutes to go around. Which of the old guys, I know they're still in their mid-20s, but which of the old guys are going to be kicked to the bench more than we think? Because Kelly Olynyk's going to play some minutes. Luke Cornett's going to play some minutes. Dylan Harper is going to be playing starter-worthy minutes. May not be the starter, but he's going to play a lot of minutes. Who's the odd man out? We'll get into that as well. ESPN making news about a hire that's pissing off the middle-aged men of America. I don't get it, but we'll talk about that a bit. But Joe, I understand you have some big news today, man. What's going on with your daughter?
Yeah, got big news too. But you know what? We also have big news from Sam Salinas. He says he's officially the parent of a Texas A&M applicant. He said his son is entering his senior year. Applications opened on Friday, and he was ready. So congratulations to you, Sam Salinas. Having your kid finally apply for college, it's a big deal, man. Congratulations. I'm sure you're a proud father, dude. So
Congratulations, Sam. Yeah.
Big news was on Friday, I get a call from my daughter after, of course, I get out of work. It's a little bit after 9. Calls me up. She's like, "Hey, Daddy, what's up?" I'm like, "Hey, what's up, baby girl?" So she's talking with me. And this time she had already went and flew to Florida to go and spend some time with her boyfriend over there. So I was, okay, she's having a good time. They're just wanting to talk with me, shoot the shit, kind of, so to speak, And she comes out and says, I got big news for you. I'm like, all right, well, what's going on? So her and her boyfriend together both tell me that he proposed to her and she accepted. So my daughter is officially engaged. She has a fiance. We might be talking about a wedding here before long. So I'm proud of her.
Congratulations, my man.
Yeah,
Congratulations. Now, did
congratulations,
he
both
did
of
he
them.
come up to you and ask for
Oh
her
yeah,
hand in marriage?
months ago when he was here,
Okay.
he did that.
Okay.
So they're very traditional, very nice young man. You know,
Wanted to make sure that that was okay. I've been joking. I've been with Chica now for over a year, and I said, if we get married, who do I ask? Her dad is no longer with us. Do I have to ask somebody? Do I ask her son? Do I ask her brother? What do I do about that when the time comes? So I thought that would be kind of funny. But congratulations to you, Joe. That's amazing. Weddings are always fun, man. They're always fun. I have some big news today. Not the best of good news at all. Something happened to me that I never thought would ever happen to me, and I'm kind of dumbfounded. I'm kind of shocked. And these are not shades, Joe. I have
se
now
siendo,
broken down,
está
and
se
I
siendo
now wear
viejo.
readers. At age 48, I am now wearing readers. I was doing a meeting, a big client meeting the other day, and my client looked at me and said, "Man, everything's great. I love the proposal, but man, you seem like you're struggling." And I'm like, "What do you mean? What do you mean I'm struggling?" She goes, "It looks like you're having a hard time reading." She pulls out readers. Apparently, it's called 1.5. I don't know what she says. Just go to like
The
Walgreens or whatever.
magnification? Yeah, yeah.
And she gave them to me, and everything just started to pop. Dude, I've had the best eyesight forever, man. Sam Slater, she's out, says, "Welcome to the club, Mike. Been wearing readers for 2 years now, and I'm 44."
Hey, you know what else I got down here too in my little drawer? The reading glasses, brother. The reading glasses. I don't
So
know.
fantastic. I hate the fact that I take off my glasses and they get blurry. My vision gets blurry. I can see for far away though still, but up
Yeah.
close, man, the readers are apparently a thing now. It absolutely sucks. Gilbert P says, "I wear readers now. It sucks. LOL. How can I have 20/20 vision and now need readers?"
You're gonna wear them old man style? You're gonna put them right here
Yeah.
on the
So our chat is powered by PF Chang's La Cantera. They do a fantastic job. They do happy hour 3 to 6 p.m. Our good friend Sean Quintero is over there. If any member of Area 210 podcast, any of our subscribers, listeners goes over there, go find Sean. Tell him hi. Tell him thank you so much for the support of this podcast. It keeps get the show going. What also keeps the show going are the super chats. Again, $5 gritos. You know the drill. If you want to have a topic, if you need a grito, whether it be the one with the dog or the one at Market Square, just let us know and we'll make it happen, right? Uh, Alex who's down says eyesight goes first, gray hairs are next. Mike, 48 years old, Joe. Still got most of my hair, and it's like 99% black. I'm proud of that, dude. I'm proud of
They said you're gonna see the Sydney Sweeney images and the reflection of
that.
Mike's
Reflecting.
lenses.
Joe, last night was traumatic, man. You think this is traumatic? You think this is traumatic? Last night, I have told this is not a tall tale, Joe. And
Okay,
it's so
hold on.
funny because
Let me get ready. Let me get ready. Incoming. Incoming.
so if you want to show photos of on my Twitter account, me and Chica, we were in Miami over the weekend. Her daughter is becoming a physician's assistant, and they gave her the white coats, a white coat ceremony where doctors and physicians assistants they wear those white coats, right? It's a big deal for them. They presented her with her white coat. It was a big old ceremony. It was kind of like a graduation where she now goes from the classroom to residency.
You
So
have
we
the
flew to
photos on your
Miami.
Twitter?
Yes, it's just photos of me and Chica.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't show her daughter, but we were having a grand old time over there. We spent 4 days. Went to the casino, the Hard Rock
There
Casino.
you are.
I won over $1,000 over there. Chica broke even, so we were up for the weekend when it came to gambling. Everything was fun, dude. We had a great time over there. Uh, did part of the show yesterday from a pool over at the National Hotel, so we had a fun time over there. It's me, Chica, her family, and we're going back to the airport. We have 8 of us or 7 of us rather, in this big old extra large SUV, and we're driving back to the airport. And I told him, I said, hey, instead of you all going with me to drop off the SUV, why don't I just drop you guys off at the front? Y'all check in the luggage and all that stuff. I'll be right behind you. I'm going to go turn in the car and I'll be right back. Right? They said, great. Because, when you go to the rental car in Miami, it's far from the airport. Right?
Yeah.
So I drop off the rental car, no problem. I take the train back to the airport, no problem. I go straight to the TSA line. I have mentioned many times before that I get stopped frequently. I get searched all the time. Dominican Republic, they took my passport. They went into another room for 15 minutes before allowing me back on to past the TSA from them. I've been grabbed. I have been, felt up by TSA probably about 10 times, 10, 12 times. No lie. It's not a tall tale. Yesterday was the worst. I'm going through the TSA checkpoint. I have my cell phone, my sunglasses, and my wallet. That is it. No luggage, right? I put it on the conveyor belt. They said, "Sir, walk through the screener, hands up like this, right?" It sets off an alarm, right? Again, the red box, the yellow boxes, it was like all over me, right?
It was going. Right? The little red siren spinning.
Okay, yes, exactly. And then they said, "Let's see your shoes." And they said that my shoes tested positive for a possible explosive, Joe. At this point, people are coming towards me from TSA, not just one person saying, "We need to pat you down." Now I'm dealing with 4 people. And I'm being a nice guy. I'm like, oh, this happens. I for some reason, this area sets off alarms. I don't know what it is, right?
Yeah.
And they said, "Sir, we don't know if you understand this, but this is serious now." I'm like, what do you mean serious? And they said, "Well, you set off 2 alarms. One, your feet, and then the other, your body." And I'm like, what does this mean? So I go over to the side, and they're like, we're gonna have to give you like an extensive search, not just a brush over,
Te
but we're
metieron
gonna be
dedo or what?
grabbing you, right? We're gonna be grabbing you, right? Super chat from Jason Garcia saying, "Mike, show us on the doll where TSA touched you." The answer is the entire doll. They got my shirt
Oh.
and they unrolled it. They lifted my shirt. They touched every part of my body, put their finger up my crack. They went down there, got under the nuts. They're going through every crevice of my ass, right? Beyond the whole like, oh, we're gonna go with the back of our hand. They're like grooving in on me,
Where was
right?
Chica? Was she there appalled?
No, Chica and her family, I had dropped them off so that they could go check in, and I was gonna go drop off the vehicle and come back later on, right? There's no need for them to go do that 1 mile walk and all that stuff. So anyway, they said that my shoes tested positive for some substance that could be an explosive. And I told them, I said, I just went to Key West on the beach. I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about, but that is not the case. They start testing me for gunshot residue, like the explosives on my hands. They go up my arms. They're testing every part of my body with this thing and putting them in the system, right? Long story short, they test my shoes again. They put it through the belt, the conveyor, and they have come to the conclusion that my shoes are safe. And they swabbed me all over the place. Nothing, right? Clear to go, right? Well, now there's 2 TSA agents arguing with each other. One saying, "Let him get on the flight." The other one saying, "I feel uncomfortable putting him on the plane because he set off 2 alarms."
That was your shoes, bro.
The shoe
So you
bomber, is that what
rolled
that
up.
is?
That was
Uh,
the Manu Ginobili shoe when it exploded. That's
oh,
probably what TSA was seeing. They're like, hey, hold up. They saw your shoes and they were like,
What the fuck is this?
that's from one of our listeners. They shared that on the media share. So I thought I'd share it.
yeah. Okay, so check this out, man. And by the way, I do appreciate Sam Slita saying that I hear her body calling me. That's funny. So Joe, what does Chica call me?
The
The
embellisher.
what? The
Embellisher.
embellisher, right? I'm telling her this story, and her jaw is dropping, and her eyes are wide or bug-eyed because she knows, based on my voice, that there was zero embellishment involved in this. Not at any point did she say you're embellishing, you're lying, you're exaggerating. She was like, "Oh my god." Okay, so now you got these two TSA agents talking to each other. They look like NFL referees trying to determine whether or not they're gonna call it a catch or not. Right? One is saying, I can hear them. They're right next to me. Let them on the plane. The shoes are fine. We put them through the conveyor belt. Again, we've tested the shoes. We've patted him down. We've searched him. We've searched his entire clothing, let him through. The other guy is like, nah, dog. He set off 2 alarms, man. This is not a good thing. How often do people set off 2 alarms? It never happens, yada, yada. He gets my wallet and swabs my wallet. Oh, the line of questioning. Sir, where's your luggage? I said, what do you mean? He goes, your itinerary says that you have no luggage. I said, oh, my girlfriend and I shared a suitcase. She shared a suitcase, so I don't have luggage. We brought one bag because you charge money to take multiple suitcases. I only have one bag, and my girlfriend, it's in her name. Well, where is she? She's at gate D31. Why isn't she with you? Because I was returning my rental car, and she's with her elderly mom. I don't want her elderly mom to have to take a train and walk 1.5 miles to get through here.
No.
Where are you going? I'm flying into Houston. Where are you from? I'm from San Antonio. Blah, blah, blah. So at this point, he's rapid fire questioning me, right? And he goes, oh, man, it just doesn't check out. You have no carry-on. My girlfriend has my backpack. It has my laptop. It's over there. Finally, he starts swabbing my wallet. He's swabbing my sunglasses for some reason. Like I have a bomb on a sunglass. The last thing he checks is my phone. He grabs my phone. Like he grabs my phone he grabs my phone kind of like a jackass. Like,
yeah, give me that mother, you know?
it's on the table, but he grabs it like that. And when he grabs it, it lights up. And what do you see when it lights up, Joe? The photo. It's a photo of me and Chica at the beach smiling, right?
Yeah.
And he goes like this. Is this your girlfriend? I'm like, yes. The one that's through here? I'm like, yes. I said, yes, she's waiting for me at D31. This is your girlfriend? And I said, yes. And then he goes, you're free to go. And he lets me go. So the joke that we had was, what if it was like Muslim garb and all you saw were her eyes? I wouldn't be able to
Probably
go
would have
through.
said, nah, man.
But because Chica was looking nice, he was like, you girl? All right, you can go through.
Yeah, you were probably over there when they were patting you down and everything. You're like, Yahweh, let me go. I want to get on the plane.
Dude, that was extensive yesterday, man. Like I said, I've had the 30-second pat down 10 times. That's whatever. Turn to the left and cough. That's fine. Yesterday was like, we're going to stick that finger up your booty hole. Not your booty hole, but your ass crack. And we're going to do this and the other. We're going to flip this cheek and this cheek. Jesse A says TSA saw Chica and said, my man, like Denzel Washington in Training Day.
Yeah, the TSA said we're gonna spread those cheeks, and we don't.
I don't give a damn.
Man, like Mariah Carey, they're like, spread those cheeks and prepare to fly.
Damn, man.
You have become a butterfly.
We got an incoming super chat here from Tex-Mex Frank. Thank you, Tex-Mex Frank.
Here comes the money.
He says, a old man grito at Fiesta for Mike's 2020 vision. Did TSA rep wink at you before he did the pat down? Winky wink. So we got to go ahead and give the old man grito.
Let's do it.
presumir, a mis amigos les conté que en el amor.
Thank you for the support there, Tex-Mex Frank, the super chat there, the old man Grito. Thank you so much. Yeah, man. Like I said, I've gone through the whole situation before, man, but never to that extent, man. Never to the extent of them picking up my butt cheek. Never to the extent of them getting between my balls and my thigh.
Oh,
Never to
brother.
the extent of them unraveling my clothes and testing my hands for residue and things like that. Chica and her brother, their jaws were dropped. Like they knew that I was telling like God's honest truth as to what happened. But man, brutal. You know what sucks is that I also have clear. I could have just gone through the system right away, but I couldn't find the clear entryway.
Mike, man, let me
Yeah.
give you some friendly advice, bro. Fernandez believes in this, dude. Why don't you just go ahead and pay for the pre-check, where you don't have to do none of that crap no more, man?
Well, I bought the wrong pre-check, man. I should have brought TSA pre-check. I bought clear, which is the wrong one to get. I should have gotten the
Oh,
TSA
yeah.
one.
Yeah, no, that's the one that they have at the San Antonio airport. That's ass, bro.
It is ass, dude. They have it in Houston, they have it in Miami, but they don't have it everywhere. Yeah, I really needed to get the TSA pre-check, dude. That's
Stop with this nonsense, bro.
yes.
Because every time you go through there, they're gonna be like, you know what it is? They probably got you in the system, and they're like, you know what?
Yeah.
It's time to search this brother again. He
Hmm.
pops up on the radar now.
Why is he getting more tanned? It's because Chica likes going to the beach. That's why.
Oh God, dude. But we
Brutal,
do
Joe.
got to get into some sports talk here. So one of the
4
things that we're
years, 229, Joe. 4 years, 229.
yeah, talking about De'Aaron Fox, De'Aaron got paid today or yesterday, should I say? Officially, Spurs went ahead and extended him, gave him his money, and
Highest
rightfully so.
highest paid Spur of all time. I mean, I know I haven't seen the details of the contract yet, as far as like how is the money spread out? Is it an escalating scale where it starts at 53 and goes up to 61? Is
I
it
got the payout
decreasing?
here. I got
Huh?
the payout here.
Oh, let's
Good
see
friend
what
of
you got.
mine, Paul Garcia, he's really good with the numbers, man. So I
Yeah.
went ahead and retweeted him out on the X there. So this is how it breaks down. I mean, you can see the picture there, and it shows, what the pay scale is. So he's going to be getting more than 50 mil a year, in the first year, which is going to be the 26-27 year, he's going to be paid around 51 mil. Now, 27-28 goes up to 55 mil. In year 3, 28-29, 59 mil. Last year of his contract, which is fully guaranteed there, he's going to get paid 63.2 mil.
So it's an increasing amount. And I mean, here's the thing, man. The salary cap goes up every year. We saw a handful of Spurs fans on Spurs Twitter upset about this. I don't see what there is a reason why to be upset. Kevin O'Connor of the Athletic coming out and saying that this is a deal that he did not like for the Spurs because the Spurs have superstars in the making potentially in Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper. And my thoughts are, who gives a rat's ass when it comes to it all? Having depth at that position at the 1 and 2 is not a bad thing, Joe. It's
No.
not a bad thing. You're telling me that we're now calling this a problem when we've gone from having a 39-year-old CP3, Blake Wesley, and Malachi Branham, and now we've erased all that, and we now have Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, and De'Aaron Fox, a healthy De'Aaron Fox? I'm sorry. I fail to see the problem. I fail to see the issue. Are you kidding me? This is an embarrassment of riches at that position for the Spurs. And I don't want to hear anything about, well, which one can't shoot? They can't shoot the three, whatever, whatever. They can all get buckets. De'Aaron Fox can create a shot. He can knock down the three from time to time. Dylan Harper, a left-handed version of Stephon Castle, who's more dynamic offensively. Castle, who is a lockdown defender who can create his own shot, who can drive into the bucket, drive into the lanes, de-escalate. The thunder and lightning aspect of Harper and Castle on the floor together is going to be exciting to watch. But the Spurs need to pay somebody. The NBA requires you to spend 90% of the cap, so somebody's got to get paid. And why not have a point guard who's entering his prime be that guy? Now, is Dylan Harper the point guard of the future? Maybe, maybe not. He's the future. He's the point guard of this year. But the fact of the matter is that you now have an asset who's locked down for a period of time. And there's nothing to say that the Spurs can't play small ball. Harper, 6'6". Castle plays at 6'6" with shoes. It's a good problem to have, Joe. I don't see the issue when it comes to it. There's going to be an odd man out, Joe. When I have that poll question on Twitter, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, or Jeremy Sohan, which one is the odd man out this year? Joe, if I had to answer that question, Joe, I don't even know what the poll results are because I can't see them because we're doing
I
this
could
differently.
tell you right now, without hesitation, who would be on my radar.
Who would it be?
That would be Sohan. You have Sohan's replacement in both Carter Bryant, right?
And
He
Kelly
can play
Olynyk.
better. Kelly Olynyk. You have Cornette. I mean, at what point does Sohan become expendable? He's not worth 23 mil a year or 23 million, whatever they extend him.
Right.
He can't shoot. He can barely play defense. He's all right. He's just a dude, man. Let him go. Same thing with Keldon. We appreciate your time here, bro. But you know what? You have an attractive contract. Gone. Vassell, gone. Get him out of here, man.
The odd man out for me is Vassell. I mean, our good friend Salinas over on Eric Salinas on Spurs Twitter. He does a lot of input and analysis on the Spurs. He's a good follow. He was saying that he wants to buy all the stock in the world of Devin Vassell. I'm like, why? Devin Vassell to me is the odd man out. He's the odd man out because Castle has a higher ceiling, because Harper has a higher ceiling, and because De'Aaron Fox is better. Now, Vassell has his moments, unless Vassell's going to go and play the three. And I can see your point, Joe, and Sohan being somebody who might be shaky on minutes because Olynyk can shoot the three. Cornette is 7'2". Wemby does not want to play the five. It's almost like the Spurs almost have too much talent this year. Doesn't mean that the Spurs have superstar talent all over the place yet, but the talent level of this team has gone up. And when I was at the casino, at the Hard Rock Casino yesterday, I went on the sports book. They have it at 43.5 wins for the Spurs.
Yep.
And Joe, I mean, I this team right here has improved on paper tremendously. And it's so funny going on Twitter and seeing Spurs fans interact about Dylan Harper, where they're so suspect of him. I have never seen a Spurs draft pick this high been more disrespected than Dylan Harper. He has not done anything to deserve disrespect from anybody. And when I point out the fact that coming out of college, Dylan Harper was better than Stephon Castle, people look at me like I'm an idiot. They look at me like I'm an idiot because Stephon Castle was the sixth man of a UConn team that won the chip, the national championship. And Castle was good. He was NBA ready.
Yeah,
I get that. And he was rookie of the year in a year that was bad for rookies. It was a bad draft.
Yeah. Yep.
Harper is better than Castle coming out of college. Doesn't mean that right now on August 5th, 2025, that he's better than Castle today. But what I'm saying is the trajectory is Harper's going to clear Castle. And he's lefty. He's shiftier. He's a better ball handler. He's a better passer. He's a better creator. He's a better three-point shooter. And the argument of, well, Jimenez, he couldn't even take his college team to the tournament. Dude, they had 8 freshmen playing, Joe. They had 8 freshmen playing. Whoever was playing the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th position on that team is not a member of the Spurs. Victor Wembanyama was not even the star of his French team. But you can tell that he was going to be a star in the NBA. He was the second guy on that French team, on Avcel or whatever that was back in the day. You can tell who is NBA ready and who is not. Last year, we looked at the draft and we thought, that Reece Shea guy, he might be NBA ready. That Alex Sarr kid might be ready. We saw Castle could be ready. And then everybody else from Reed Shepard and beyond was going to be a project. Jared McCain ended up turning into a good player before he got injured with Philadelphia. But you can look at a player and go, they're NBA ready, they're a project. Jeremy Sohan, when he was drafted, number 9 by the Spurs back in the day,
It's a project.
2022, project. We knew he was a project. There was nobody in the world who believed that he was going to be NBA ready from day one, even though he started 53 out of his 56 games as a rookie. But you look at this year's draft class, Joe. Every mock draft, every team board had Cooper flag number 1 overall. Every team board, every mock draft had Dylan Harper number 2, and then numbers 3 and beyond was whoever beauty was in the eye of the beholder. And for a lot of Spurs fans right now who are butthurt right now because we drafted a guy who's very similar to Stephon Castle, and they're like, "Well, Castle won Rookie of the Year. Castle won Rookie of the Year. He never would have been Rookie of the Year in any other year the last 10 years." I'm glad that he won Rookie of the Year. He's going to be a very good player and potentially a star. He could be a 1, 2, or 3-time All-Star. I can see that happening for Stephon Castle. But Dylan Harper clears him and is going to clear him. And that's what's going to make things interesting for the Spurs when it comes to developing Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, and having Fox there as the highest paid Spur, averaging $57.25 million. The point I'm trying to make, Joe, is for those saying that Harper isn't going to be any good because you just don't know. He's never played a minute in the NBA. Well, you know what? We were calling Wemby generational before he ever played a minute in the NBA. You can look at Wemby and go, yeah, that guy's going to be a star. Every draft board had Harper at number 2 for an effing reason. Because the guy's a stud. He's going to ball out. He's going to get his legs under him. He's going to get his stamina. And he's going to be fighting for minutes that are not just, he's going to play 10, 15 minutes. He's the number 2 overall player in the draft. He's going to start more than he's going to be off the bench. He's going to get starter minutes. Oh, what we're going to do, Joe? I kept on hearing this. We're going to have him ride the bench his rookie deal. Yeah, like the number 2 overall pick is going to ride the pick.
You trying to do a Matt Lerma voice?
Yeah, but Matt Lerma's not the one doing it. But there's somebody out there. Oh, it's Mike Baez, Bear County Social Apparel, our good friend, who's like, Harper doesn't know. He's never played a minute on the NBA. I got to do a Baez voice. Got to figure one out, man.
Not
He
my
has
boy
never played a minute
Baez.
in the NBA. There are number 2 picks who are sometimes busts. It annoys me, Joe. It's like, do you want this guy to be good or not? Let me get this straight. You have all the faith in the world of a project who is the number 9 player in the draft in 2022. Think he's actually going to be anything. But the number 2 overall pick that was consensus number 2 overall pick, who would have gone number 1 in the draft in each of the last 5 or 6 years, except for the Wemby draft, is like, yeah, but we don't know, man. But we got this Castle guy.
You know who was a bona fide bust? Lonnie
Who's
Walker,
that?
man. They all
Who's
were
that?
high on Lonnie Walker, fan favorite. Oh, Lonnie, this. I love Lonnie. Look at Lonnie. Lonnie could not finish at the rim. Had a lot of missed dunks. Could never get it together. Had a lot of speed, athleticism, all that. Just couldn't get it together and play consistent. Where's he at now? Gone.
But he's gone.
And he's not even in the NBA, bro.
But Lonnie was never a lottery player, Joe. He was never a lottery player.
Spurs
So it was Spurs fans being stupid, is what it was.
Get gone, bro.
Now, I mean, I do blame Pop a little bit.
Court again.
I do blame Pop a little bit right now because, I mean, he never gave Lonnie a defined role. And when he had a defined role, he did very well. Like if he knew he was a 6th man, if he knew he was a starter, if he knew he was going to be whatever. But Pop sabotaged him, dude. I don't want to get into that too much. But you look at the Spurs right now with Dylan Harper. He's going to turn heads right away. And the idea that the number 2 overall pick, who would have gone number 1 7 of the last 10 years, is going to ride the pine and be the Manu? No, man. He's going to start. Odd man out is Devin Vassell. Devin Vassell, we know what you can do. You're a streaky shooter. You've been around the block for a while. But you ain't it, man. You ain't it. The Spurs have Castle and Harper on rookie deals. Harper for 4 years and Castle for 3 more years. We're building around him, man. I can't even read some of these comments. What's going on?
Oh, they're just making funny because they're saying that you were doing the Matt Lerma voice with Baez, and they're like, he don't sound like that. Matt Lerma says
I
he's
see
dead.
Baez is in the house. Says Mike ain't good enough to replicate my voice. Well, the problem is that you don't have a we don't have a meme for you yet, Baez, because like we equated Matt Lerma to that guy from the Three Amigos who was like, I'm still with you, El Guapo, right? That's where the Matt Lerma voice comes from. It comes from the Three Amigos. We need to have a a Mike Baez voice,
Why are
like
you
so,
singling out Baez for though?
because he's all over me on Twitter about it.
Oh God.
So we love you, Baez. We love what you do, baby. You are a big supporter of this show, so don't take any offense. But the thing about it is this: we who is somebody, Joe, in a movie or TV show that is like always like the Debbie Downer? Is he Debbie Downer? Is Mike Baez on when it comes to Dylan Harper? Like, well, he's Dylan Harper, man, is the consensus number 2 pick in the draft. Would have gone number 1 overall, 7 of 10 years. I'm super excited about this as a Spurs fan, and then he comes out of the woodworks with, well, he's never played a minute in the NBA. Wah, wah. Is he the Debbie Downer of Dylan Harper? Is that what it is?
Well, I don't know if he's a Debbie Downer. He's just trying to keep it real, And I respect Baez for keeping it real because a lot of
keeping it real. How
a lot of misguided Spurs fans will go ahead and automatically say, "Oh, vamos para la playoffs. We're back. We're in championship contention. Mira, we got another draft pick and this." No, bro, stop it.
Tavares asking the question: who is Harper starting over? Vassell can get buckets. Harper will start over Vassell if need be more often than not. Maybe not day 1, maybe not October 28th or 29th when the season starts. But what I am saying, Joe, is the second biggest asset on this Spurs team is Dylan Harper. And I need Spurs fans who think I'm an idiot. I was catching strays this morning on Twitter saying I'm a bad fan of that. I was like, I haven't even tweeted about the Spurs in like over a week. Where the hell am I getting this? But Joe, you have Dylan Harper on a rookie deal for the next 4 years. He is the number 2. Joe, if you had, let's say that we had to go get Giannis or we had to go get, I don't know, Kevin Durant or whomever, and it came down to we have to take either, the other team wants to take either Dylan Harper or Castle, right? Dylan Harper or Castle. And you were to ask these 30 teams, take whichever one you want. Which one do you think they're taking, Joe?
The number 2 pick.
They're taking Harper.
Harper has
a higher ceiling. That doesn't mean that on August 5th, 2025, he's better than Castle. But what I am saying is by 2027, 2028, he will be. But that's the thing, Joe. Having De'Aaron Fox shows a couple of things. It shows Wemby that, hey, we're now trying to win when, Joe? Try to win now, right? Are we tanking for somebody right now?
No.
We Team Tank has now officially died. Okay?
They should be a playoff contending team this coming season. The mantra, the battle cry. Playoffs or bust. If you settle for the play-in, that's the consolation prize. It's playoffs or bust. I'm hoping that they'll win more than 42, the 43 wins, 42.5. We'll round it up to 43. They need to win more than that to go ahead and get that 6th spot in the playoffs. I'm hoping that this team is going to be better than just playing. It's playoffs or bust. That's it.
Big Sean PD on our chat, powered by PF Chang's Lock and Terra, says, you don't bench a 2nd overall pick of a loaded draft. Damn straight you don't. Rand G says the second biggest asset is De'Aaron Fox. It's not. De'Aaron Fox is the second best player on the Spurs team this season, right? There's no doubt about that. But the biggest asset, you look at it, De'Aaron Fox at a $57 million price tag beginning the season after next versus a 3 more years of Dylan Harper at 9 or 10 million.
Yeah.
No, dude, the better asset is actually Dylan Harper. The better player right now is De'Aaron Fox because De'Aaron Fox has experience, and that's going to be the bridge, Joe. That's going to be the bridge. The delicate balance that Mitch Johnson's going to have to do his first couple of years as head coach of this team, officially as head coach of this team, is going to be how to juggle minutes between Castle, Harper, and Fox because all three are worthy of being on the court. And it's almost as though the Spurs need to have a rotation that incorporates all three because they're not going to say Castle's too good to be coming off the bench, Harper's too good to be coming off the bench, and Fox is getting paid too much to come off the bench. Right? So there's got to be a delicate balance where all three are in the lineup with Wemby. Who's the fifth guy? That's the thing about it, Joe. Where maybe it's Cornette. Have a 7'2" guy down low with Wemby. Then you have the three playmakers go off and go run wild. And the athleticism galore on that team. If that happens, maybe it's Sohan down low. Maybe Sohan can reinvent himself as a 4.
Yeah.
Right.
You
Maybe
know, I
he
got
can
a challenge for you.
Yeah.
We had Quan, right, on the show. Mike
Yeah.
versus Quan. That was good. I like having Quan. In fact, we need to invite Quan back. The other thing, though, I want to have on the show now, the other person that I want to have on the show is I want to get Bias on the show. Bias versus Mike. That would be good.
That would be good. And he's a good guy. First of all, I
Yeah.
have no problems with Mike Bias, Bear County Social Apparel. He does a fantastic job. Follow him on Instagram. He has a wonderful array of shirts and clothing that you can purchase off of there. Does a fantastic job. We hung out with him at the Spurs game a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So
It was
it
good
has
times.
nothing to do with that. It's just like I have such high hopes for Dylan Harper that I don't want to hear anything else because I've seen him play. I followed him, and it's like one of those things where when the Spurs won the lottery and got the number 2 overall pick, of course we all would have wanted Cooper Flag, right? But at no point was I like, man, we got to figure out whether we're going to do Dylan Harper or Ace Bailey. We got to figure out. I went out and I said to everybody, we got Dylan Harper. It was like there was no pause. There was no maybe we go a different direction. Everyone knew that the number 2 pick in the draft was Dylan Harper, and that if Cooper Flag was not there, all 30 teams would have chosen Dylan Harper number 1 overall, no matter who was on the roster. He's that effing good. He is that good. He is that great of a playmaker. And to think of he's going to be like some bench guy who we're going to have him come on in and play 15, 20 minutes, and he's going to have to learn the ropes for a while. That's not the NBA anymore.
Look at this comment coming in. Tony Ornelas. The Spurs are going to win the Super Bowl, Joe. They're going to whoop the Cowboys. You know what's funny? That the Spurs are going through a rebuild. They haven't gone to the playoffs in the last, 6 seasons here? Hopefully it won't be 7 this coming season. But even the Spurs going through the rebuild, they're still going to go ahead and get back into title contention and go further than the Cowboys ever have. And the reason why Cowboys can't make it, because of Jerry. Jerry can't get out of his own damn way.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second because I do want to have a longer conversation about the Cowboys and where they are at right now. And Jerry just, being a dumpster fire that he is. But someone asked the question here. Somebody says, Tavarius says, so Harper over Castle, Mike. It's not an over, okay? Because if I was to say Tony Parker was better than Manu or Manu was better than Tony Parker, that was not disrespect to one or the other. It's just one clear the other from time to time. There were some years where Parker was better than Manu. Some years where Manu was better than Parker.
Let me ask you this question, too, because it came up
yes,
right in the chat. It came out in our private chat a couple of days ago where we had Matt Lerma going in there saying that Tony Parker was better than Steven Nash because he had more championships. What say you, Mike? Steve Nash was the MVP of the league. Tony
It
Parker
was
was not.
it was a two-time MVP league. There's it's kind of hard to say. Like CP3 is considered to be one of the five best point guards of all time, and he probably is. It's just they didn't have the hardware, the championships to back it up. And championships are a deciding factor in a lot, right? Because it's amazing that Duncan has as many rings as Kobe, as many as Shaq, or more than Shaq, or as many or more than LeBron or whatnot. One fewer than Jordan. Um, we hear that all the time that he has one fewer than Jordan. Well, Jordan was the head guy of all six teams. Duncan was the third guy on that 2014 team.
No.
So it's not the same. But the fact of the matter is that the better talent was Steve Nash. And you can't deny that. Steve Nash was the MVP 2 years. Parker was maybe the best point guard in the league one of the years that he played. But that's no disrespect to Parker, because what Parker's greatness is that he showed up in the playoffs. There's some players
Yeah.
who are fantastic in the regular season, and others who go away during the postseason. Look at like James Harden. James Harden's going to make the Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame one day, even though he disappears in the playoffs. He's a regular season stud and a postseason dud.
Yeah. And he's
And
going to be remembered for a team that was up, what, 3 games to 1 and then choked it away?
yeah, most definitely. It's also kind of difficult to put the context to Parker and Ginobili, because Manu could have averaged 25 points, 26 points per game if he played for another team. If he had starter minutes and all that stuff, he could have been a 10-time All-Star. He was okay with his role as the sixth man. And then he had Tim Duncan there, top five player of all time there. Parker leveling up during the playoffs.
That-
Parker in the playoffs. And it's hard to put them into context with everybody else, because there's no other player that's been like that of recent times who is going to assume the role that they had for the betterment of the team. And I think Spurs fans are so used to watching Tim, Tony, and Manu that they'll think to themselves, well, Tim Duncan took team friendly deals, so therefore Wemby's going to do that. No, he's not. Manu was comfortable being the sixth man, so Dylan Harper will be. No, he's not. They're not the same people.
You know what was funny too? There was an argument that was posted on the X, right? And I forgot who said it. I don't know who was the one that said it, but I saw it out there. I think it was Matt Lerma, actually. In his spaces, they had some type of discussion yesterday on his Twitter spaces. And he was saying something to the effect of Spurs fans, they should go ahead and expect that some of these other players that the Spurs have yet to sign need to make team-friendly deals if they want to stay on this team. Why? That's not the world we live in
Why?
nowadays. They don't need to do that.
Yeah, Tim.
If a player wants to get paid, which most of them do now, they're not going to take a team-friendly deal. Those are the days of old. Nowadays, if you want a player to stay on your team and you want them to be here, you got to pay them, because if not, they're going to be gone.
And that was also not even the situation back then. It was just Tim, Tony, and Manu were different, because you know what?
Yeah.
Tim, Tony, and Manu, none of them were American.
Yeah, they wanted to win. They just wanted to get to the NBA Finals for a chance to win a chip. You know?
They believed in the glory behind it all. Not I need to get my bag, but most players want to get their bag, and that's just the reality of it all. We were spoiled by Tim, Tony, and Manu. That doesn't mean that we're going to recreate them. So, but real fast, I just want to close out my conversation piece on Stephon Castle and Harper being together. When I say Harper clears Castle, I truly believe that that's going to happen at some point. And my God, that's a great thing for the Spurs, because Castle's a very good player. Harper's not going to win Rookie of the Year, but that doesn't mean that Castle's better than Harper. It just means that Cooper Flag is going to win it. But that being said, how Castle and Harper can complement each other is tremendous. Castle, right-handed, drives in, slows down, kind of like Kyle Anderson back in the day, like a better, more athletic Kyle Anderson. Drives in the bucket, slows down. It's a different speed that he does things, right? He moves like an off-speed pitch in baseball. Harper, left-handed. The more you watch Harper play, the more you're gonna be reminded of Manu. Explosive to the bucket, runs downhill, plays really good defense. Maybe not as good as defense as Castle, but plays really good defense. The thunder and lightning between the two, the off-speed pitch of Castle, the fastball type of play of Harper, the lefty, the righty combo, coming at you from different directions, being able to get steals, jump in passing lanes. And you have De'Aaron Fox as Mr. Clutch directing it all. I see no problem with the Spurs roster, dude. I really don't. I see the problem with Vassell. You better play shooting small forward because you ain't gonna be guard anymore. That's the problem I have. But it's these are good things to have, Joe, because we were just talking about having Blake Wesley and Charles Bassey and all of these other players on this roster, and now we actually have players who can play. How about that? Ah, fantastic, dude. Fantastic.
Oh, one of our listeners here, Tex-Mex Frank, he shared something here in the media share, and it's funny, dude. I'm going to share that with you, Mike. He says, this is for you, Mike. When you go to the TSA line, free
No,
pat
that was
down.
yesterday.
Go here.
That was yesterday. Picks up my phone. This your girl? Like, yeah.
Oh.
Where is she again? D31. Looks at her. Yeah, you can go.
Oh man, look at
Let's give some.
Fernandez. I like the thunder and lightning reference. He said, "Good job on you, Mike."
Very nice, man. That's also a reference to Selena Gomez for that one song that she sang about 15 years ago. I am the thunder and you are the lightning. Anyway, let's get some love to our friends over at PF Chang's La Cantera, baby. They do their Wednesday Wines Day tomorrow. We're half off bottles of champagne, half off bottles of wine, but they're gonna have a happy hour today from 3 to 6 at PF Chang's La Cantera. Let's show them some love.
PF Chang's La Cantera, San Antonio's premier destination for dinner, date night, or happy hour. Enjoy one of their signature dishes, such as the Singapore street noodles, sesame chicken, or Chang's spicy chicken, or their infamous Chang's chicken lettuce wraps, which are delicious, by the way. You can enjoy all this while you're dining in an Asian-inspired atmosphere. And make sure to enjoy the new outdoor patio and try some of PF Chang's signature cocktails and drinks during happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. PF Chang's La Cantera is a proud sponsor of the Area 210 podcast. And again, we have them coming up on Wines Day tomorrow, as you said. Half off all bottles of wine and champagne every day, only on Wednesdays. And if you get there to PF Chang's and you see Sean Quintero, you tell him the Area 210 sent you.
That's right, baby. Go say hi to Sean Quintero over there, big supporter of the show. Joe, Pro Football Talk has an article by Mike Florio, and they interviewed NBC Sports' Chris Sims, and I want to get your input on this. It's about Micah Parsons and his contract dispute with the Dallas Cowboys. For those of you who don't know, he has one more year left on his deal. He wants a contract extension. He's been asking it for a while. Jerry Jones came out and said that it was near a done deal. And Parsons came out and said all of that was just nonsense. He's never even met with my agent. We've been trying to call him up for 2 years for this. It's all lies that he talks about me. And Micah Parsons demanded a trade, saying, I have asked Stephen Jones directly for a trade. He's still at camp, though, but not taking part. Holding out. Chris Sims of NBC Sports is saying that Micah Parsons needs to go scorched earth. And I found that to be interesting because he says that Jerry Jones does everything publicly, that Jerry Jones is somebody who will roast you publicly and you'll get caught by strays, intended or not.
Yeah.
And basically says that the only way that you call out a bully is by doing it publicly. That Micah Parsons went out there and when he told the public that he wanted a trade, it wasn't his face, it wasn't his voice. It was words on the notes tab of his iPhone. Basically saying that if you want to go toe to toe with Jerry Jones is going to go up and talk shit about you at a podium. That Micah Parsons, you're talking to about a narcissist billionaire and his, born with a silver spoon up his butt, son and Stephen Jones. That you're gonna not, you can't be nice about this. That you have to go out there and be a jerk right back to them and show emotion and show feelings. That it's kind of hard to convey how frustrated you are. It's kind of hard to show how pissed off or angry you are if you're just simply being nice on social media. Do you believe? And it basically said the word scorched earth, that I'm putting words into their mouth here. But do you think that Micah Parsons needs to be more aggressive in his attacks towards Jerry Jones? Or should he be the one who's the adult in the room and let Jerry do what he does?
I think he just needs to be the adult in the room and just let Jerry do what Jerry does best, which is insert foot in mouth and even look like a bigger douchebag than he is already. You
Mhm.
know, what a way to go ahead and negotiate just to be asinine, say hurtful things to the media about some of your best players on the team. Is that going to make that player want to play even harder for you? Or is that going
Right.
to have them thinking, you know what? Maybe I just might not put enough effort in for it into the season because Jerry ain't going to appreciate anything. You know, the problem with Jerry is that Jerry doesn't seem to be serious as an owner. Any owner of any professional franchise would want to go ahead and produce a winning team. And what I mean by that is a team that can actually make some noise when it comes to the playoffs, right? Cowboys have notoriously crapped the bed when they get there. They can't get past the wild card, can't get beyond the first round, have tons of problems. Doesn't matter what their record is, doesn't matter how much talent they have around them. They're always plagued by some type of issue because Dallas is a poorly run organization. And it all starts with Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones gets in his own damn way. And even, in the negotiating table here, he famously fumbled the bag when it came to Dak. He famously fumbled the bag now when it comes to Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons should just go ahead and be the bigger person and let Jerry just keep talking, let Jerry do what he does best. Hopefully the trade will get done. He goes somewhere else. He'll be, happier with another team that can actually focus on football. What a thought, right? What a concept. You go to a
Right.
football team and they focus on what? Fundamentals, playing football. They're a football team. They go and they watch videos together. They're watching the film together. They're getting better. It's not about Jerry Jones going out there talking to the media. That's stupid. I think
Hmm.
Micah Parsons, he's in a very good position right now as a player. He already said he wants out of Big D. They go ahead and they give him his wishes. He moves on to another team. I think he's going to go on to have a great career. When it's all said and done, he'll be in the Football Hall of Fame, no doubt. And
No
hopefully
doubt.
by that time, he'll already have won a Super Bowl, but it's not going to be with the Dallas Cowboys.
I saw a lot of people on bloggingtheboys.com. RJHO does a fantastic job on blogging the boys where they're like, well, Jerry Jones is playing 4D chess, right? Maybe he just doesn't want to have Parsons on the team. Maybe he just wants to do whatever, whatever. My thing about that though is if for some reason that is factual, if for some reason they do not want to have Parsons on this team, why would you sabotage his value by talking crap about him and bringing up his injury past, his injury history. It's like if you're actually gonna if he's gonna force his way out of Dallas, wouldn't you want him to be valuable? Wouldn't you want Jerry Jones to say, "Man, this guy's one of the best players in the league. I mean, we're gonna try to keep him, all that stuff." Instead, Jerry Jones is saying, "Hey, remember when he missed 6 games? Why are you tanking his value?" I don't understand what the F Jerry Jones is doing.
He's just a stupid old man, doesn't know. It's not about him. And that's the thing that Jerry Jones does infamously. And you look at the other, let's say, NFL owners around the league. It's not about you. It's about the team, right?
Mhm.
At the end of the day, you would want the media to showcase the team, the players, spin that storyline. Look at how well everybody is and doing in training camp. Look at how good they look. They're going to have a great season. If you talk to an owner, the owner would stand behind the team, and not only the team, but the players, and say things that are going to be impactful for them, that are going to be conducive to them wanting to play harder. Hey, I appreciate them coming out here. Look at how hard they've worked in training camp. They're looking great. I have, high expectations for them coming this season. Hopefully we can go ahead and do good things out there on the field. You don't hear that out of Jerry. Jerry wants to make everything about him. He cares more about being in the spotlight, selling merch, than he does care about the fans of
Right.
America's team. He rather sell seats. He rather sell merch. He wants to make it about him and not so much about the player. It seems like Jerry thinks that his presence out there is more impactful for the team than the actual guys that are out there on the field playing the game.
And you know what? Cowboy fans are cult members, dude. They're cult members. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter what doesn't matter what team they trot out there, losing, winning, mediocre. Cowboy fans are gonna eat it all up, and they're gonna go to Academy Sports and buy up all the merch that you can find. Our chat is powered by PF Chang's Lock and Terra. On that chat, we have a comment from Mario Cavazos saying Micah's not being traded. Get over it. They can franchise tag his ass if they want, and that's the perfect comment to make because that is very, very possible. They've done this before where they franchise tagged people that didn't want to be franchise tagged. Now, famously, Dak Prescott had no problem being franchise tagged. No problem. But other players have wanted to get paid, and the Cowboys do not take care of their star players. There is a reason why free agents don't go to Dallas and Dallas don't go to free agents. It's because they don't want to be there. They don't take care of their players. And if
Yeah.
he gets free, and if he gets franchise tag Joe once or twice, when he has articulated the fact that he wants out, it signals to the rest of the NFL, do not go to Dallas.
Yep.
That is the signal it takes. We were talking about the Spurs earlier, the Spurs with De'Aaron Fox, getting him that max contract. It's like they brought him over, they traded for him earlier in the year, before the trade deadline last season. They brought him over, and what do? They said that they were going to keep him long term. He was the point guard of the future. Spurs won the lottery, got Dylan Harper, right? Plays a similar skill set as De'Aaron Fox. They stayed true to their word and did what? They signed him to the max deal that they promised him from the get-go. They didn't try to negotiate it down to a 3-year deal. They didn't do this and the other. They said, hey, look, we brought you over under the pretense of you were a max guy for 4 years. We're going to give you that. We held our word. The Spurs held their word, handshake agreement, whatever you want to call it, to Chris Paul as a starter. Come to this team. We will have you start every game. And he started all 82 games for the Spurs last year. There's something about being a team that honors their word. The signal that the Spurs sent to the NBA yesterday was, if you are a star player, we're going to take care of you. The signal that they sent is, we're willing to pay up. We're willing to pay big contracts. The opposite is what the Cowboys are doing. The Cowboys are like, we're going to screw you over as much as we can and then get rid of you when you might not have much in the tank anymore. We're going to run your
He's
ass
not
into
an
the ground,
incentive.
and we're going to
Yeah.
talk crap about you the entire time.
How is that played to a star player, right? They're not willing to go ahead and get behind you and give you your contract, extend you and whatnot after you've put in all this time and effort. You've gotten injured and whatnot, come back, even while injured, still out there on the field playing. What does that say about your longevity as a player? That the team doesn't care about you?
Right.
You know, you're risking
And,
injury, and you want to get paid, and rightfully so, for doing a good job, right, Mike? If you do a good job, you want
right.
a bonus. Same principle.
And what does that say to the other players over there? Like, man, they're not even taking care of Micah. Micah's the best player on this team,
They talk shit about him.
and they talk crap about him. What does that do for the locker room? There's no incentive. You know, I mean, who does he think he is? Bud Kilmer from Varsity Blues?
Yeah,
I
man.
mean, going off and just talking crap about people publicly. It's so stupid. The Cowboys are the most, and for the Cowboy fans, I'm like, yeah, but we're America's team, man. Maybe so. It's a dumpster fire over there. It's a
And look at what
dumpster
Renji
fire.
says. He says, that's called being a fan. I can buy a jersey and still be pissed off at my team. You
Well,
can, but
no,
also you're going
that
to be
no,
pissed
no.
off
If
at
it's
your
30 years,
team.
if it's 30 years in a row of bad management, and you're still buying the shirts and eating it all up, you are a cult member. You are not a fan.
Jerry don't even he refuses to put up the drapes to block out the sun.
Right, because it doesn't
And
look nice.
it's a detriment to your own team. Put the freaking drapes up, Jerry. Come
Mhm.
on. You know?
Meantime, someone asked me the question, Joe. I was talking to we actually have a subscriber who listens to the podcast. He doesn't comment because he listens while he's at work. But he works for a financial company out in Philadelphia, I believe. And he was talking to me about it. He goes, "Hey man, I'm looking forward to today's show." He says, "I have a topic for you guys. Can you discuss it?" He says, "Right now, as it stands right now, who do you have going to the AFC Championship game, and who do you have going to the NFC Championship game?"
Oh, man. Who do you have?
So thank you to Chris. His name is Chris, by the way, for bringing this up. I gave him my four. He thought it was interesting. We talked about it before the show.
Yeah. Renji.
I chose.
Renji.
I chose that my NFC championship game right now is a game between the Detroit Lions and the Washington Commanders.
Okay.
I have on the AFC the Cincinnati Bengals against the Houston Texans.
No Chiefs.
No, I think they're on the way down. Kelsey's production is going to go down. I don't. And they'll still get their 12 wins, but I think the Bengals are going to take them out this year. And I think it's a weaker AFC. I could have said Buffalo, but for some reason Buffalo just doesn't get it done. That's mine for right now, Joe. If you had a snapshot of it right now,
If I have a snapshot of things right now and I'm looking at it, I'd have to say I would pick Detroit and the Eagles to be there again. I'm
okay,
not there again, but I picked the Eagles to be there again in the Super Bowl, going against Detroit Lions. I think the Lions are finally going to be able to break on through.
yeah.
49ers. I saw somebody, who was it, Mario Cavazos? He had put in here Denver and Detroit. Denver. I don't know what you've been
I
smoking on,
mean,
bro.
Sean Payton, dude. He has Drew Brees out there working with a quarterback. You know,
Yeah, I know that, bro. But Denver, I'm like, I think they'll have a good season.
yeah.
Is it going to be Super Bowl worthy? I don't think so, man.
You know, the Texans were so beat up last year with injuries to Tank Dell, injuries to Nico Collins, injuries to Joe Mixon. That we've never seen this team, because they took they went backwards last year because of the injuries. CJ Stroud had a sophomore slump. I think
Yeah.
they bounced back this year. I think they bounced back pretty big.
Look at this.
They
Is this
added Nick
finally,
Chubb.
Mexican Junior says, is this finally Baltimore's year? Absolutely not. They've shown you what they can do, man, and that's all they're ever going to be. They're going to be good
Mhm.
enough to get there, but they can't get to the promised land.
Someone asked a question about Steve Nash versus Tony Parker. Lamar Jackson is Steve Nash. Shows up during the regular season. Come playoffs, nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be
You're
found.
looking. He's that meme with that lady looking like that. Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
That's funny, Joe.
Is that going
I'm
to be CJ Stroud
what's that?
when it comes to the big game? To finally get that push for the Houston
Oh,
Texans. Is that going to be CJ Stroud?
right.
Lamar Jackson? Are they going to be the same?
Burrow's the best quarterback in the NFL, man. And you got to figure they're going to get it together at some point. The team that doesn't have it together right now is the Cleveland Browns, because the Cleveland Browns are now signing a fifth quarterback to the roster because four of them are hurt. They have four other quarterbacks. They're all hurt. They're all hurt, including Shadur Sanders, who might not make the team. Shadur Sanders it might actually go from being the number 2 overall pick in the draft, according to most mock drafts, to not even having a team within a matter of like 4 months. That is ridiculous, man. But that's a team that drafted a quarterback in the 3rd round and Dylan Gabriel, and a quarterback in the 5th round and Shadur Sanders. Who the hell does that? We talk about teams that are run so poorly, like the Cowboys. I'm sorry, the Cowboys are the 2nd worst team when it comes to being managed and run. The worst team in the NFL is in fact the Cleveland Browns
You know what's
by
the
far.
sad part about the Browns? The Browns have a decent enough defense. They got a very good defense.
They do. They
It's
got
the
about
offense.
yeah.
Offense sucks. And the horrible thing about it is they had to have a scapegoat, right? So they pinned it all on who? Baker Mayfield. Get him out of here. Let's get Deshaun Watson. Deshaun is washed, dude. And what's happening with Baker? Baker's out there balling out with Tampa Bay. It shows the
Mhm.
problem wasn't Baker Mayfield. It was the Browns organization.
Yeah.
They're asinine. Why would you do that and get Deshaun Watson thinking he's going to get you there?
Yeah.
That was stupid. That's probably going to be one of the worst deals in NFL history.
Joe, we were talking about it before the show started. On my Twitter account, ESPN has a new hire, and a lot of Spurs fans got mad because the ESPN has added Katie Feeney to their roster.
Where is that at? With Adam Schefter, right?
Yeah, I retweeted it earlier today.
Okay, I'll put it out there. Let me
So
see.
here's the thing. We saw, and I was so mad that I was not available for that show where Shay Shay was gone. Shannon Sharp gone from ESPN.
What's his
Skip
name?
Bayless gone from ESPN from a couple of years ago. But guess who's
Joy
here?
Taylor. Joy Taylor's infamously gone too. Max
Joe Taylor from
Kellerman gone.
FS1.
You know,
ESPN is trying to make a transition. So let's follow the transition that they're making, Joe. The transition that they're making has everything to do with social media,
younger
because
generation.
the new generation of things, right?
Yeah.
You look at like who was our my God, what's it called? When they got rid of Skip Bayless, and they got rid of Michelle Beadle. What do you
Oh,
see
man.
as the common thread of what they're getting rid of, Joe? Is there something to be
Th-
said about it? They got rid of
They
Jamel
got rid
Hill.
of
They
they
got
got
rid of
rid of all
Michael
the old
Michael.
heads. You know,
Right.
all the old heads. They got rid of everybody that was old, wasn't really bringing in the ratings. They had to go. They were boring. People weren't tuning in for them. And then they said, you know what? Let's go ahead and cut all the fat and get rid of all these guys. Even though some of them are well-known athletes, they might not just translate well when it comes to being on, let's say, an on-air personality. So
So
they went
they
ahead and cut of them. They cut a whole bunch of them. And what did they bring in that's young, that's fresh, that's now? Pat McAfee show.
That's exactly it. So look, what was Pat McAfee? Pat McAfee was about podcasting. He had one of the biggest
Live
podcasts.
streams.
Was streaming podcasting, right?
Yep.
Even before that with Dan Lebitard
Oh, yeah. Stugotz.
and Stu Gatz, who's taking the back seat now. Stu Gatz is kind of like semi-retired. The point I'm trying to make is that the days of you and me, I'm 48 years old. And a lot of people who listen to this podcast are in their 40s and 50s, right? We used to go to channel 24 on to watch ESPN, and that's how we watched it. We remember the days of Stuart Scott and Craig Kilborn and Dan Patrick and Keith Olbermann and Chris Berman and all that stuff. It was about turning the channel up to channel 24. Those days are over.
Yeah, man. The changing of the guard, Mike. You know what? I was even talking with my kids, right? Because I've noticed what they've been watching. They're all in their 20s, 20 somethings. And my youngest is already going to be like 20 or 21 this coming year. And what they watch is they don't care to watch sports like that. Like we used to ingest sports. What they watch a lot of now, they just go to YouTube and they watch these influencers and guys that are entertaining, guys and gals that are entertaining, talking about, oh, let me go and eat Buc-ee's for 50 days, or let me go ahead and start cooking. My daughter watches a lot of this one gal that does a lot of cooking, entertaining. She's funny, cute, what have you. She likes watching that. But the boys, they watch a whole bunch of other stuff. It's like one-offs. The attention span now is like between 5 to 10 minutes, maybe even less than that. So it's just shortly condensed content that's just rapid fire, boom, 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 boom. And that's what they watch.
Right.
That's how they ingest their content now. So what ESPN is doing here is I can see their plan is that they're trying to get the younger demographic to come in. So probably what's going to happen is she will create content for ESPN, but the content she's going to be creating is right in her wheelhouse and right where ESPN wants to go ahead and branch off. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. They want to go ahead and get these short clips, put them out there, and even YouTube, where all the younger generation can come in and start ingesting the content that's being created by somebody of their own age.
JHNSB reaches out to us on our stream saying, I watch you guys, I don't watch ESPN.
Yeah.
And it's because he identifies with us in whatever way, right? Maybe he identifies because we're from the 210. Maybe he identifies with us because we are the same age, ethnicity, whatever the case may be, right? But what I need for people to understand is that whenever a news station makes a hire, they're not hiring specifically for you.
Yeah.
Right? If you were to watch any other news network or sports network or whatnot, you can tell what they're marketing towards based on their commercials, right? You go on to Fox News Channel, turn on Fox News Channel right now, go to the commercials. It's all about like medication, erectile dysfunction, Medicaid, Medicare supplements, Life Alert. Because they know their demographic is old people.
Yeah.
Right? ESPN is trying to get younger. And what you need to understand is that ESPN looks at untapped markets and thinks to themselves, there are a lot of female sports fans out there. And a lot of guys out there are like, well, I don't want to watch a show where Joy Taylor is doing this and the other. I don't want to watch Doris Burke. I don't want to watch, whomever, because they have a bias towards women when it comes to sports. Well, here's the thing. Maybe that show was not for you. Maybe that show was for women. Right? Because Joy Taylor, guys watch Joy Taylor, and she's very attractive, and they will talk about her looks more than they will about her sports takes. Joy Taylor's sports takes were very good. She was actually excellent at sports takes.
I liked her better on Colin Cowherd's show, actually. But
it wasn't her show. She was just a sidekick.
It wasn't her show. Yeah.
But she was actually very good at what she did. I didn't like her sidekicks, but there is a time and place for Joy Taylor. And does she do thirst traps? She does. But at the same time, she was actually really good at what she does. But you look at the Doris Brooks, it's important to have a female voice out there, but let's go to Katie Feeney. 13 million subscribers on TikTok, Instagram. Hundreds of thousands of subscribers on YouTube. And what is she going to be doing? Is she going to be doing sideline reporting, Joe? No. She has worked for Penn State football. She has worked for the Washington Commanders as what? Their social media engager. Look at what my daughter does for a living at Case at 12. My daughter Gabby works at Case at 12. What does she do? Who watches Channel 12 or 5 or 4 at 10 o'clock anymore? No one does.
People. Oh, I do. Old people like us.
Old people when it rains. How do people consume the news now? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, on demand. You can watch. You can watch the newscast on demand, right?
Yeah, KSAT has their own app too, where they put out short segments as well.
And that's what Katie Feeney's going to be doing.
Yeah.
Lifestyle segments. Like some of the best shows that ESPN has had nothing to do with like remember Sports Science? Man, that guy R.I.P. He committed suicide a couple months ago. Sports Science was a great show, but it was a lifestyle type of show, right? They used to have workout shows on ESPN. They used to do things like that. Now they need to have a presence of a younger generation of people, a younger generation, a younger perspective. And I'm sorry, not everybody that they hire is going to be 45, 50 years old. And to be honest with you, I don't like watching a lot of former athletes on there either. Dude, you know what the worst show on sports was? Fucking Inside the NBA, dude.
Oh, with
Charles
Ahmad
Barkley, Kenny
Rashad.
Smith. Charles, no, not that one.
Oh, okay.
Charles
You're talking
Barkley,
about Insight.
yeah, Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, and Shaq, Ernie Johnson. I could not stand that effing show,
Yeah.
dude. To me, that would make my ears bleed. And so many people are like, "Ugh, it's the best show in all the
No, it
NBA.
was
Hey,
funny to
tell
me.
it
I
how it
liked it.
is."
I enjoyed it.
Dude, it was so old and dated
You know what it was,
that
Mike?
anybody under the age of 40, I'm 48, right? Anybody under the age of 40 watching this show looks at the show going, what the hell is this?
You know what it was, Mike? It was like this. Remember, for many, many years, one of the shows that kind of like broke new ground here in San Antonio was the Lyle and Han show on 99.5 Kiss, right? The great Lyle and Han. And they did a lot of segments. They did a lot of pendejadas on the show, you know, keeping it brutal and whatnot. And it was a highly rated morning show. People would tune in and listen to it for years. For years, everybody was like, you know what, man, I love Lyle and Han. I love Lyle and Han. But then you started getting a new generation of fan coming up, right? That
Yeah.
got tired of it. And what did they do? They gave Lyle and Han their walking papers. And what happened? That now turned into the Billy Madison show for a younger
Right.
generation of fan, you know, or demographic. And that's what's happening with Inside the NBA. You know, it's one of those shows that's familiar that you'll keep on in the background. And I like watching it. I enjoy watching it. I enjoy the antics, and it's funny.
And it was good for about 5 years, dude. And then
Yeah.
it like a TV show that was on too long, a radio show that was on too long, it passed its prime a little bit, right? It had its fan base, Joe. But like, I'll be honest with you, do you know who I enjoy watching and talk and listening to more podcast wise or whatnot? Paul Pierce, um, Kevin Garnett, Steven Jackson, some of those guys, even though they might have some Spurs hate, whatever, they're younger, they're more hip than watching 60-year-old Charles Barkley, 60-year-old or 55-year-old, 50-year-old Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith, dude.
Yeah. I
Like
I
that.
still like watching it, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I
You
mean,
know why? Because
I
it's your
still enjoy
demographic.
it.
It's our demographic,
Yeah,
Joe.
I still enjoy watching it. You know, will I watch it all the time? Absolutely not, because I don't have the time. But when I do watch it, I appreciate it. They make me laugh. You know, it's like coming back to something familiar, you know, and it's there like an old friend, you know, and that's what Inside the NBA is. And I enjoy watching it,
So
but it's
here's the
not for
thing.
everyone. It's not for
That's right.
everyone. I get
That's
it.
right. That's
I
right
get
there.
it.
So like it's like Jesse A says, media is a la carte. He says this in our chat, right? Powered by Pia Ching Alcantara. Say media is a la carte now. You can pick and choose what you want. Don't need to watch entire programs or for one or two segments you actually want to watch. And that's what Katie Feeney is. So for all these people who are like bagging on this 22, 23-year-old coming out and saying, why is ESPN doing that? Blah, 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 blah. It wasn't for you, dude. She's there for female fans and for a younger generation, dude. And
What's
that
the
doesn't
one
make
thing that
that doesn't make
female
ESPN
fans
so,
liked?
what's that?
What is the one thing that female fans liked? NFL female fans. And it was kind of an eye opener here. And I think it was the wife of one of the 49er
Yeah,
players.
Kyle Jess is a Usech, his
She's a
wife.
designer, right? Designer. She came out with some unique merch. And what happened? Who put her on the map? The one person that everybody hated the most, Taylor Swift, started wearing her personalized gear, right? She would make her purses, maybe some jackets and stuff. Then other wives around the NFL started wearing her gear, right? Taking pictures, putting it out there on social media. And then what happened is that you had a lot of the NFL women fans coming out and saying, "Hey, we want some nice merch to wear that's different from just what the teams are releasing." They're willing to pay more for more customized apparel, and that's a big thing. That's an untapped market that the NFL has yet to really go in on, right?
And that's a
And
fantastic point, Joe.
they
I
care more
deal I
about the
deal with
fashion.
I deal with that too. I am telling Chica, hey, we have games that we need to go to this fall. We have UTSA football games. We have Spurs games to go to this fall. She's down, right?
Yeah,
And I'm glad that you brought up Juszczyk's wife, because that was a great point there. That when it's all guy driven, that you leave out certain segments of it all. Chica's looking and going, I don't want to wear any of this crap,
she
right?
wants her bling.
She wants to be blinged out. She wants to look pretty. She wants to look feminine. She doesn't want to wear a Wemby jersey. She doesn't want to wear a Castle jersey, a boxy jersey like this. But she also doesn't want to dress like a whore either,
Yeah,
right? She
keep it
wants to look
classy.
something
Yeah,
cute, something nice and cute and glittery and all that crap, right? Which I love. I love that about Chica. She has to go to Pinterest for that stuff. She has to go to other places for that because there's an untapped market for it all. And ESPN was smart enough to look at this woman and go, "There's an untapped market for this." You know who I heard this about 5 years ago, 6, 7 years ago? Remember when Mina Kimes first joined? How much experience did Mina Kimes have in sports journalism? She wrote one
yeah.
article about how she was a Seattle Seahawks fan with her dad. ESPN took her. She was a business. She wrote about the stock market for many, many years. And then she wrote an article about how she loved being a sports fan with her dad, and ESPN grabbed her, and now look what she does. There's a market for female sports fans, and for guys who go up there and hate on it, it's like, show me you're a dick without telling me you're a dick. It just is what it is. Like, why crap on somebody and their success because you're not part of the demographic? I don't understand that.
I guarantee you, Mike, if the
Yeah,
NFL came out with customizable jerseys for women, right, and they gave them options, they can put
immediately
together.
after.
You know what? They are willing to pay a lot more than the men for their jerseys because it doesn't have a name behind it. It just has the name of the team on it. And more than likely, that's what they care about. Like you said, they just care about going to the game, looking cute. They're just there to support their boo, their husband, their boyfriend, fiance, whatever it could be, and just be at a game looking good. That's all they care
Yeah.
about. And that's the thing. That's a big thing now because look what's happening with the WNBA, what's happening with the NBA, what's happening with pro football. They got to do the catwalk now, right? The slow-mo cam. Look who's
Right.
coming into the stadium. Fashion's a big part of professional sports, and so is the pop culture aspect of things because
What
it's
is
more than just showing the player. It's also showing entertainers arriving, right? Wearing
and
gear.
what does the E in ESPN stand for?
Entertainment.
Entertainment. Entertainment. Like ESPN has said from the get go, that's what it is. It's entertainment.
Yeah.
You know? And I just find it funny, man, that it's strange that people bag on people who are a different generation because they're like, well, what are they doing on there? I'm gonna tell you who needs to be off the air right now, Joe. Mike Wilbon and Tony Kornheiser. Get them the F off the screen, dude. Watching those, they have turned into the old men from the Muppets up in the balcony.
Not entertaining at all, huh?
Dude, and before that was Mike Lupica, and it was all those guys on the sports reporters.
Yeah.
Like, old man, get off the stage. There needs to be a younger generation when it comes to it all. Katie Feeney's part of it. Pat McAfee is part of it, and there's a change to the guard. What were we expecting? Chris Berman to be there till he's 100? It's kind of like those who want Popovich to have been coaching for as long as he wanted to.
Oh,
We're gonna watch Keith Jackson and all them go until 88 years old. Peter. All of these guys, dude. It's like there's a changing of the guard, man. That doesn't mean that ESPN
what's
sucks.
that
It just
guy?
means that you
What's
got
that one
old.
brother that they have out there with Screaming A. Smith? Mad Dog. That old man's gonna have a heart attack or something on the show, bro. When they let him go on a rant, I'm like, he's funny and all, but I mean, you get tired of him. They need some some new blood there over at ESPN, because it's gotten old, and I think that's what they're trying to do. But a change to us old heads isn't welcome, because we like to be set in our ways. We like our programs the way that we've ingested them for many years. I get what they're trying to do. Do I like it? I might agree with it. No, but I have my own opinion about it.
Dude.
But at the end of the day, I understand what they're doing. They got to get younger to keep their audience, you know? Oh, did we just lose Mike? Oh, you're back.
Uh,
Back.
yeah. It's. I go back to Mina Kimes, the how she was brought in by the the Dan Lebitard show. You know, Mina Kimes should be working for an NFL team.
Yeah.
Mina Kimes should be a capologist. She could be an assistant GM, maybe a future general manager in the NFL. She's that good at understanding players and understanding their potential, right? Because she is more of an analytics person than she is oh, well, I played football for 30 years and blah, 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 blah. That doesn't mean anything half the time. Mina Kimes had no experience in sports before going over there, and she's one of the biggest and best things that they have going on ESPN. I
Yeah.
love watching Mina Kimes grow as a journalist and what she does there,
Look at
and she does that juggling as a mom. Very nice.
Renji. He's been trolling us, but I understand. We appreciate your comments, but I also like this too. He goes, the younger generation does turn on the television to watch that stuff. That's why they have podcasts. I understand that. A lot of younger, let's say, sports fans, or even fans in general of sports or what have you, they turn in and they watch live streams. They listen to podcasts a lot. While they're working out, they're, running or what have you, they're listening to podcasts. And that's how a lot of the younger generations ingesting their content too. It's through different media. It's not just all going to turning on the TV nowadays and sitting there for hours watching sports or what have you. They ingest sports now differently too. A lot of people, or a lot of the younger generation, won't even really watch the game. They watch what's happening in real time, like on the
Yeah.
X. They update, they put out highlights, and that's
And
all they
there's
care about.
and there's a lot of talent there at ESPN from the female side. It's beyond Mina Kimes. Elle Duncan does a very good job at ESPN. Samantha Ponder, when she's on the sidelines, does a fantastic job. Britt McHenry does a good job. Melissa Stark has done a good job back in the day. It's there just because they have female anchors doesn't make them quote unquote woke. It doesn't make them pandering to anybody. It's understanding that sports is a universal thing, and 48% of people who walk in the turnstiles at an NFL game are women. 48% of people who go to the games at the Frost Bank Center are what? Women, and they want to have a voice in it too. That doesn't
Why do
mean
you
doesn't
think
make
they
you
have?
emasculated or anything.
Why do you think they have a lot of drinks that are catered to women at these sporting events?
Because
Right?
they're there.
They're
They
there.
want
Why
the
do you?
clothes. And Joe,
The
like you
food.
brought up, they want to have the drinks that they want. They want to have the clothes that they want, and it doesn't take away from a guy that to have that there, man. Hey, Joe, I before we go, we talk about Samsung FC. I know you enjoyed the game.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Enjoyed the match rather. I might be attending a football game in a few weeks, Joe,
Where
but it's not Samsung FC.
is it going to be? Austin FC.
Chica and I are going back to Miami to help her daughter move to Fort Lauderdale. Guess who plays soccer in Miami, in Fort
Messi.
Lauderdale, to be exact? Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
I talked to Chica and I talked to her son yesterday, and I said, we're going to go watch Messi play. And I think we are, man. August 30th, rather.
Nice.
So that would be my first MLS game, would be watching Messi play.
Good. That's a good game to go and watch. I thought you were going to say Austin FC. I was going to say it's 11:51 a.m. and Austin FC still sucks. Just like we make fun of Oklahoma, So, oh, good on you, man. You go and watch one of the greats. I would, if I had the opportunity, I would do it too.
I saw tickets for a good price, man. About $60 a ticket, and it was like 12th
Not bad.
row, right behind the goalie.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take it, man.
I was
Very
going to show
nice.
this real quick as we exit the show here because I'm looking at the time and I got to get ready to go to work. But there was a poll that came out by CBS Sports, and this just dropped. And this is
Yeah.
the preseason college, let's say college football poll. And this is what the coaches have right now as far as the top 25 teams in college football. Preseason, mind you, it's not the regular season. We'll
Mm-hmm.
go over the top 10. Number one, Mike, look at who they have. No surprise, UT,
Right.
right? Number two, Ohio State. Then they got number three, Penn State. Number four, they got Georgia. And number five, they got Notre Dame. And you can do the other 5 through 10.
5 through 10. Well, after Notre Dame, they have Clemson,
Mhm.
Oregon, Bama, LSU, and Miami.
Yeah, LSU at number 9. You think they dropped a little too far? Or they need to be pushed up more? Because I know you're an LSU fan.
No, I think that's the kind of where they should be. You see Arizona State, Illinois, South Carolina, Michigan, Ole Miss. Look at the ponies, man. You got SMU at
Oh yeah,
16.
SMU.
Got A&M out there, Texas Tech at 24. Badass. Hey, there was some breaking news in the NFL side of things the last few minutes or so. According to Adam Schefter of ESPN, the Los Angeles Rams have reached an extension, 3 years with their star running back Kyron Williams. 3 years, 33 million. It's 11 million a year, man. Locking him
Woo.
down. That's a good pickup there, man.
And you see how that happened before the season started, Mike.
Mhm. What do you say they took care of their player? Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Stupid ass Jerry Jones likes to talk crap about players and then doesn't like to pay them, should I say. And then when you get to the first game of the regular season, news breaks and Jerry's like, "Oh, we worked out a deal. We paid that SOB." It's like, why did you do that before the season started?
I know,
It's like
man.
stupid, man.
Very,
Mike
very
ain't gonna
nice.
stay there, dude. He ain't gonna be donning the silver and the blue or the blue and the white jerseys for the Dallas Cowboys anymore. He done, bro.
Hey, man, over the weekend, Astros brought back Carlos Correa. They're trying to reunite the band back together. Get the band
Oh,
back together. The
really?
Astros right now. Yeah, they traded for him again. They brought him back. He was gone for the last few years. You're looking at the fact that the Astros right now trying to make a postseason run. They've lost 7 of the last 10 games. 63 and 50, still 3 games ahead of the Seattle Mariners in the
Yeah.
AL West. The Rangers are 4.5 games back, trying to stay in that contention for the wild card. Let's see, it's 118 games. That's 44 games left in the season for the Houston Astros. As it now gets exciting to talk about baseball a little bit more. The Phillies, Brewers, Dodgers lead their respective divisions. The Blue Jays, Tigers in first in their divisions as well. Tigers with an 8 game lead over the Cleveland Guardians right now. And that's the biggest gap between first and second place. The Padres, which the Missions feed into as our AA affiliate, 62 and 51 right now. 3 games behind the Dodgers in the AL West, in the NL West rather. Very, very nice.
Yeah, and the Astros infamously got they played over in Boston with the Boston Red Sox and got swept in their
Yeah,
little series that they had out there. So they're
yeah.
still, I think, what?
One of the relief pitchers of the Astros got pissed off because he thought that his signs were getting stolen, and got all pissed off. It was benches clearing thing. There was no brawl or anything, but benches cleared. And it's
Oh
like, dude,
my
just take the
God.
fact that you got your ass lit up. You got lit up.
Take the L, man. Take the L.
Very, very, very nice. Everyone have a fantastic day. I'm glad that we're back doing this. I'll be back here the rest of the week. So yes, we'll do the full on show. But Joe, thank you so much. It's already noon. We got to get to work.
Already
Everyone have a
know we got to
fantastic
get to
day,
work.
man.
We'll see you boys.
See
Peace.
ya.